Over the past 3 months, thousands of league bowlers from around the country have traveled to Salt Lake City to compete in the 93rd Annual American Bowling Congress Championships. This week, it was the professionals' turn in the $250,000 ABC Bud Light Masters. Today, there are 5 left, including defending champion Mike Aulby, as Prime proudly presents from the Salt Palace in the shadows of the Wasatch Mountains, the stepladder finals of the 46th American Bowling Congress Bud Light Masters Tournament. Welcome everyone inside the beautiful Salt Palace Convention Center. Hi everybody, I'm Mike Durbin. Working with me once again, PBA and ABC Hall of Famer and the winner of 2 Masters events, Earl Anthony. Earl, the Masters always a special event. This year, no exception.
No question, it's a special event. It's one of what you might call the 4 tournaments that are part of the Grand Slam, and this is one that the pros really look forward to. It's a big prize fund, plus it's a different format for them. Gives them an opportunity to play in match play all through the tournament. We've got a great cast. The bowler sitting in the number 2 position may be the guy to beat. He's the defending champion, Mike Aulby. Well, he's definitely the guy to beat. There's no question. Mike Aulby is very comfortable in this kind of a circumstance. He loves this kind of a lane condition that he's got here. His shot is working extremely well for him. He's shooting big numbers, averaging close to 250 for the tournament. Boy, that's even better than you did, isn't it? He's going to have to get by, though, the guy in the number 1 position who seems to get better with age, Ernie Schlegel, a very emotional player. Very emotional, and sometimes that emotion can affect his opponent to the point where maybe they lose their concentration. Ernie Schlegel, with probably the old school, the hustler-type bowler, but a tremendous competitor, deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, and he thinks this is a stepping stone to get him there. Our other 3 players have an amateur in there, the number 3 position, Ron Morton. Ron Morton, another guy that doesn't have a lot of experience television-wise, maybe a few local shows, but never nationally. He's been in a position to lead this tournament throughout the match play. Every time he had that opportunity to take the lead, something went wrong. Maybe today will be his day. You never know. And in the number 4 position, a guy that has 1 PBA title, a doubles title, but he's the ABC Masters average champion, Joe Firpo. And Joe is on a hot streak. He's been bowling extremely well lately. Finished second just a couple of weeks ago in a PBA event to Phil Ringener. Joe is ready to win. He definitely is in that position where he feels his game is sharp. This very, very much could be his day. The condition fits his type of play. And the last player in our cast, Bob Belmont. Bob Belmont, the other lefty in the field, and if anybody can get through the rest of them and get to Aulby, this could be the guy. The left-handers have bowled extremely well throughout the tournament. 22 of the top 64 were left-handed in the match play portion, so the left-handers have been doing very well, and Bob is no stranger to this type of format. He likes pressure. He bowls well. Well, everyone likes pressure here, and we're looking forward to our opening match, which will feature Joe Firpo taking on Bob Belmont. We'll be right back with that.
Testing for your love.
Barry White, checking for love, the Love King. Can't get enough of your love, babe. I love you, man.
I love your style.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
I had it right in my hand. You saw it.
The American Bowling Congress and the Lynn Shoe Company are offering a one-time only ABC 100th Anniversary Bowling Shoe. The shoes are gold stamped with ABC Centennial and Lynn logos and individually numbered heel plates. You can help the American Bowling Congress and improve your game by purchasing a pair of Lynn Centennial bowling shoes. I personally recommend Lynn shoes, and a contribution is being made to the ABC for each pair sold. Lynn's, for the scoring edge.
You're a winner, and you deserve recognition. In sanctioned leagues and tournaments, 2 million awards are handed out each year by the national governing bodies of bowling, the American Bowling Congress, the Women's International Bowling Congress, and the Young American Bowling Alliance.
But your membership card entitles sanctioned league bowlers to more than the awards program.
There's more than $1 million each for college scholarships and veterans hospitals, bowlers supporting their communities.
Every member has a chance to compete in thousands of special events, locally, nationally, and internationally.
Sanctioned leagues also provide for the standardization of rules and supplies. Plus, league prize money is bonded.
Equipment testing and research helps advance the sport.
Your membership card does all that.
And every lane is inspected annually by local association volunteers. In short, everything runs smoother, and sanctioned leagues are a lot more fun.
So have more fun and help shape the future of bowling by making sure your league is sanctioned by the national governing bodies, the ABC, WIBC, or YABA.
The 46th Annual American Bowling Congress Masters is being brought to you by Bud Light, official sponsor of the 1996 Olympic Summer Games. Make it a Bud Light. By Lynn Shoes. For the performance approach, it's American-made Lynn Shoes. By Contour Power Grips, the pioneers of the finger grip industry. More pros use Contour Power Grips. You should too. And by the American Bowling Congress, providing championship service to bowlers since 1895. Make sure your league is ABC sanctioned. Here we are at the Salt Palace Convention Center, Salt Lake City, Utah, using lanes 19 and 20 of a 48-lane facility, Earl.
Well, it's beautiful as usual. ABC does an outstanding job always with this event. This was always one of my favorite tournaments, Mike. I always loved the bowl of Masters.
Well, it's because you were such a great match game player.
Here we go again.
Bob Belmont, his first shot. And not too good.
Almost predictable to a point. The players a little different. They didn't get a chance to really bowl a lot on the television pair before we went on the air, and the reasoning is that the conditioning would hold up longer and give them a more equitable shot, a fairer shot, which I agree with. And there seems to be a little more oil out there than they expected, so the ball just didn't hook back for him like it had been earlier in the week. The lanes will change as they continue to bowl.
The washout changes balls. And he's open in the first frame. The ABC Masters, Earl, a different format to this tournament. Tell us about it.
Well, the format is an extremely different format from what the professionals are used to, of course. The field was 533 players, including the defending champion, Mike Aulby. They bowled 2 5-game blocks, and then the field was cut to the top 1/4. That 1/4 of the field, which was just over 100 bowlers, bowled then 5 more games, and then they were cut based on their total pinfall for the first 15 games, cut to the top 63 plus the defending champion Mike Aulby, and then they went into the match play, which are 3-game matches. Total pins wins the match. No pinfall carried over or anything like that. It's just win the match. Two matches. If you lose 2, you're eliminated, basically.
Okay, so the emphasis is on winning the matches, as Firpo opened with a strike on lane 20. Back to this business of no practice, Earl. You really think that's a good idea, huh?
I do, yes, I do, because that basically is what the players did all week. They came out to a pair of lanes, and they got 4 balls in each lane, and away they went. And that's basically what they got here. They got their 4 practice balls and started. Here's a look at the style of one of the hottest players on the PBA Tour right now, and then you can see that Joe Firpo gets everything he can out of every shot. A little hop at the foul line, but still in good position, the shoulders out over the knee, and that long follow-through.
4 steps. Is he always taking 4?
As far as I know, Joe's a very consistent player, gets a lot of revolutions on the ball, and Mr. Belmont better get it going early here. He's not going to be able to keep up.
Well, you got it in the 1-2 pocket. I don't know, Earl. Personally, if I were out there playing, you know, different people have their pre-tournament routine and everything else. Not being able to practice, I think, would have bothered me.
Well, you can practice on an adjoining pair. You just can't practice on the television pair. And,
well, I mean, just that, not being able to practice.
All right, there was another alternative to that. They could have let them practice. Say, for example, they'd gone out and bowled their normal hour before they went on the air, and then they would have had to strip and redress the lanes. If they'd done that, you'd have been in the same position again anyway. Now, I can understand where there might be some characteristics that you would look for on wooden lanes, but these are synthetic surfaces. So the characteristic that you would find on a wooden lane isn't going to be here. From wear and tear and such that you would get on the synthetic surface just isn't going to be there like it would on the wooden lane. So I don't think there's that much of a difference.
Except maybe in somebody's mind.
Well, maybe in their mind, acclimated. But these guys have been bowling here all week. They should have some idea what's going on out there by now, I would think. I have a feeling this is a better thing. It's going to hold up longer. They're not going to have to make the drastic changes that they would if they had let them practice. Here's a look at the left-hander. From the right-hander side point of view, you might say. Very strong player physically. Big guy, 210 pounds, gets a lot on the ball. Again, most of the players you'll see today, except for the tournament leader, really get the revolutions. The guy that's leading the tournament, Ernie Schlegel, is what you might call a straight player. Gets a lot of forward roll, not much side turn.
And Firpo right back in the pocket.
Got away with one there, Mike. No question that ball was not where he wanted it to be when he threw it. Here's a look at it. This ball is way outside the target line. He gets it way to the right, and you can see he's having a little problem with the approaches there. Another hop and skip at the foul line. That ball came back from nowhere.
See, if they were able to practice, he wouldn't be hopping and skipping up there. See right there.
Quit nagging.
Yes. Joe Firpo up by 31 pins, headed to the 4th frame. There's the score. Think the right-handers have the edge today?
Well, there's no way of telling until you get the great lefty out there, Mike Aulby. He'll be the one that'll determine whether there's an edge on one side or the other. Mike can definitely play, so there's a lot more room, and he got it back. And Joe is really challenging the area.
Well, Joe Firpo has been hot right now. He has a 41-pin lead. Can he maintain it? We'll find out right after this.
The volume. It's Classical Thunder, the most explosive collection of music you've ever heard. Get Classical Thunder on 2 cassettes for just $14.99 or 2 compact discs for $16.99. Then you can preview other classical favorites albums. Satisfaction guaranteed. Classical Thunder. Call now.
To order Classical Thunder, call 1-800-720-5353 or send $14.99 for 2 cassettes or $16.99 for 2 CDs, plus $3.50 shipping to the address on your screen.
Poise. Power. The search is on for world-class bowling. It's as simple as the ABC World Team Bowling Challenge with a new stop every week on this regional sports network.
Bob Belmont trailing by 41 pins, working on a strike, needs to get something going right here. And does. And does. I talked to Bob about his impressions of the Masters tournament, this first Masters. This is what he had to say.
I like it. I like the format, the way they condition the lanes after every couple of squads. It made it pretty fair for everybody, I thought. And I'm enjoying bowling. I like the atmosphere, the lights. It's like a stadium, but all week. Very nice.
Trailing by 31 right now. One more to cut it down more. It's too much room. Boy, can't send it left if
well, he really looked like he lost his balance, got a little quick with the feet, got to the foul line a little faster than he might have wanted to, and when that happens, generally you lose your balance, you don't get any leverage, you don't get the good rotation on the ball, just kind of squirts off your hand, and I think more than anything that's why it didn't hook back for him.
So the condition out there makes you make a good shot.
It's a very, right now, it's a testing condition. It's going to get better. I think it's going to get easier and easier as they play on it to a degree. As the oil goes through its transition, which it always does, the reactive resin bowling balls that most of the players are using is going to move it down and around quite readily, quite quickly. And if that happens, I think the shot will change. And whoever makes the good adjustments, if Joe Firpo, say, for example, can get by this opening match and continue to move as the oil moves, he'll be tough to beat because Joe gets loose and gets stroking. He can shoot some big numbers, real big numbers.
Working on 4 in a row, stuck again.
Got away with it again. He's made some different shots, but he's gotten away with it every time.
Boy, checking that approach area out there because the lanes aren't bothering him, but right now the approaches are.
Well, we're going to take a look at Joe when he gets to the foul line. Here's that last shot, and you can see his left foot stop, and then he hops. And what he's got to be careful of more than anything is that he doesn't foul. He's very close to going over the foul line.
He was real close right there.
Mm-hmm. And what this does when you're in this situation, even though he's got 5 strikes in a row, he's not comfortable out there, and he's going to be very cautious when he gets to the foul line, and that could change his release, and he could get in trouble, maybe get one high on the head pin or something and get the big split. Got through that one very well.
And 6 in a row. Joe Firpo perfect through 6 frames.
Well, excuse me, Mike, there were 7 300 games in the tournament, only 1 in match play, but there were 7 throughout the week here at the Salt Palace, and I wouldn't be surprised to see another one today.
He shot some big numbers at Bob Belmont last night.
Yes, he did.
Will it hit it? No, it doesn't. Earl said there were 7 guys that bowled 300 this week. And we take a look at them right there. Among them, former Masters champion Rick Steelsmith.
Jim Dougherty on top there. He's the only one that did it in match play. The other were all in the qualifying rounds.
Rick Steelsmith had a rough start. He opened the tournament with 300s.
Well, he was definitely not in second place. He was the leader, no question about that. Guy named Michael Karch, who I've known since he was a little guy. In fact, I used to bowl with his father. He bowled in the tournament here, and he tied a Masters record with 13.07 in his opening 5-game block. And you figure that out, that comes to about a 261 plus average for 5 games. That's tremendous bowling by Michael Karch.
7th frame. Bob Belmont trailing by over 50 pins, and through the nose leaves the 247. Basically, the only suspense left in this match now is, will Firpo bowl 300?
Well, the only, you know, really, sometimes when you're in this position that Joe's in, he's got the first 6 in a row, but he's not being pushed at all by Belmont, so he might relax a little bit and just and not work as hard at it. But he's been fortunate. You got to admit he's been fortunate to get away with some of the hits.
And he converts the 247. Back in February, Salt Lake officials celebrated the grand reopening of the Salt Palace with the opening of the 93rd ABC tournament.
That isn't the last one, is it?
Yeah, why?
Did I mention that I found the negatives from your bachelor party?
Be a shame if Carla found out about that whole Niagara thing.
Can you say cubic zirconia?
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Room service.
Looking for more strikes and more bowling fun? Then look no further than Going for the Gold with Team USA coach Fred Borden. As today's top instructor, Coach Borden will show you ways to reach your full potential. Professional bowlers Mike Aulby and Leila Wagner work with Coach Borden to show you the sure way to higher scores. This 12-lesson video is available for only $24.95.
Getting the proper feel is important to every bowler. Grip inserts provide you with that proper feeling on every shot. That's why today's top professionals choose only Contour Power Grips. And you should too.
Contour Power Grips, manufactured by the pioneers in the finger grip industry, Pro Sports Systems. More pros choose Contour Power Grips. You should too. Ask your pro shop professional for Contour Power Grips, the grips that legends use.
Trying for 7 in a row. Firpo on lane 20. A little better approach.
Boy, he's using all the lane, isn't he? He's getting it out to the edge at about 50 feet. That ball is hanging over the edge, almost in the channel, but he's bringing it back.
Well, I was watching him last night, and he was further left on the lane, but he was hooking it a huge amount.
Yeah, there's a lot more oil today than there has been for the players. From talking to them, they feel that there's more oil on the lanes. They're tighter, but they will, as I mentioned, change as the players continue to bowl. It'll move around. It'll start to hook more, and you'll see them going more and more toward the center of the lane. Mike Aulby throughout the match play was basically playing between 3rd and 4th arrow, and today, even watching him warm up, he was out around between the 1st and 2nd arrow. Still going.
Well, Firpo perfect through 8 frames.
Got a huge crowd here, Mike, and they're really getting into it now.
They'd love to see that 300. Belmont in the 8th frame. Just finishing out the string.
Well, he's a good guy, and he's having a lot of fun out there, and that's really what it's all about. There's no sense feeling down about it. There's nothing he can do. Joe Firpo has just been outstanding through 8 frames.
He's got a nice smile, doesn't he?
He does. He's got a great personality. He's really a good guy.
Ninth frame. Through the nose, and the 248.
Well, this is a toughie here. The idea is to get the ball between the 2 and the 4 and let the ball carry on back and take out the 8. And so he'll probably play this cross lane normally would do that, but depends on how he feels about all that oil that's out there right now. He might play it just off his strike line and throw it a little harder.
I don't think he cares at this point. I think he just wants
he does, yeah. There's pride involved here, Mike. He played it off his strike line and didn't get it back to the 8-pin.
Ninth frame, Joe Firpo working on 8 in a row. The ABC Masters Championship round. In between the last frame, he went up there and checked the approach. He didn't do that this time.
I think he's having more problem with his shoe than he is the approach. I don't notice Belmont, who's sliding almost in the same spot, having any problem.
Perfect. Showing each shot with more confidence.
And different. Every shot's a little different. That one was more ball speed and a little tighter line. He didn't hook it nearly as much as he did the one previously on that lane. Joe's no stranger to 300 games. He had a couple at the Masters just a few years ago, and so he's very confident he can throw a lot of strikes. And I mentioned earlier on that once he gets it going, it's amazing how many he can throw in a row.
Tripped out the 4 and the 10, but the 7 didn't cooperate.
Well, that might be a blessing in disguise. The reason I say that is if he had gone on to bowl 300, as we get another look, this ball is just a little high in the head pin. If he'd gone on to bowl 300 game, chances are emotionally he would have been maybe a little spent and not had what he needs to get through that next match, or at least in the opening frame. So he might be better off with the 270 game, and he'll still have a lot left mentally for that next match.
Joe Firpo starting the opening match with 9 in a row. A strike here. He'll finish with 279. So he'll move on to face. Move on to face the amateur. Ron Morton coming on after this, and leaves the soft 10. Great beginning. 278. Joe Firpo. Bob Belmont just finishing out the string here. And we see how Bob Belmont got here. He's had trouble with Joe Firpo. He shot 780 at him last night. Starts right out with 278 today.
Remember, these are 3 games total pin matches the players bowled to get to this point, and 780 is fantastic bowling. Joe Firpo, no stranger to the big numbers, averaged 260 against Belmont last night. And as you mentioned, Mike, he's got to feel like he's getting hit in the head with a hammer here.
So 4 games, he shot over 1,050 at him. Huh?
That's incredible. Now look at the scores that Mike Aulby bowled all week. He averaged, what, 247 or something?
246.9. Only have 1 game under 200 in match play, and that was 197.
Right, and that's in match play competition. He bowled 11 matches, won 10 of them. And the reason he had to bowl so many is he got in that loser's bracket early. But that's 33 games of competition in match play.
Bob Belmont finishes it out strong, but comes up short. The winner, Joe Firpo, 278 to 191. Great traditions at the start of the American Bowling Congress Tournament is the opening mass bowl shot.
Environmental pollution, ultraviolet rays, acid rain. They'll destroy your car if you let them. Introducing Autofoam with Foamlin A. Created by Blue Coral, Foamlin A is the ultimate transparent non-stick barrier, and only Autofoam has it. Look, Autofoam fills in nicks and scratches in your car's finish, providing a high gloss shine that protects against environmental pollution, ultraviolet rays, even acid rain. But wait, there's also Autofoam Ultra Car Wash. It actually forms a protective layer of Foamlin A every time you wash. And that's not all. Introducing Autofoam Ultra Wheel Care. Remove brake dust, grease, and stains on contact. Get Autofoam Liquid Sealant, Ultra Car Wash, and Ultra Wheel Care. Now just $19.95. Bring out the shine in no time with Autofoam by Blue Coral.
Have your credit card ready and call 1-800-936-0707. That's 1-800-936-0707. Or send $19.95 plus $5.95 shipping to Autofoam, P.O. Box 2978, Framingham, Massachusetts.
Violence in our nation has reached epic proportions. For too many Americans, it's a routine part of life, a threat to the well-being of our families and our children. Every day, 14 people under the age of 20 are killed by guns. And violence shatters more than bones and families. It shatters hope. We can't give up hope. We're doing our part here with the crime bill. Law enforcement is working hard, but you have to do your part too. It's our country and our problem. Let's solve it together.
There's your crowd here at the Salt Palace Convention Center. Beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah. Setting in the Wasatch Mountains. And everyone here enthusiastic, as you can see. Sold a lot of tickets here today, Earl.
Sure did. It's a packed house. I don't think there's room for one more person to get up in these stands, and they're really into this bowling. They love to see these big scores, and the players like Joe Firpo are definitely accommodating him for those.
Firpo this time starting on lane 19 where he finished last time. Boy, that ball rolled out right at the pocket.
Just went up and stopped, and that's what happens.
Roll out with all that oil out there.
That's what happens is that the lanes, again, they're going to go through a transition, and as that happens, they're going to get back to what the ball reaction was yesterday afternoon and last evening, and this is what it was more like. Joe was playing deeper inside, but see how the ball kind of stops hooking? They don't call it roll out anymore. They call it hook out. And
hook out.
The ball continues to roll, but it stops hooking.
What, am I dating myself here? Is that it?
All right, our first look here. Ron Morton.
Comes in light, leaves the 7-pin.
He has kind of a unique style, Mike, where he does something a little different with the backswing and what he does at the foul line, and we'll get a look at that later on as we check him out. But left only the 7-pin. He'll go cross lane at this, throw it hard and straight.
Well, he's got to be a little bit nervous. Ron Morton from Portland, Oregon. 6 feet even. Interesting shot there, and converts the 7-pin, no trouble.
I like that bird's eye view. That's great.
He's got to feel a little bit better about getting a spare under his belt, and we see how he got here. Was doing great, and in that match against Schlegel, he had an opportunity to win that match if he struck the first ball in the 10th, because he finished first. Kind of let her. He got 8, a spare, and then 6, and Ernie doubled. Needed the first one, you know, needed 19 pins.
Right, he got the strike.
Real tight match.
Really made a great shot. Ernie did when he had to. None of Ernie's matches were high scoring. And one of the things also that there were 22 left-handers that made the match play out of the top 64. And Ernie never bowled one of them. Never bowled a left-hander. So kind of fortunate because the lefties were putting up some big numbers. Here's a look at the style here of Mr. Morton. As he goes to the foul line, watch how short the backswing is. And then watch what he does when he gets to the foul line. Here's the backswing. It's not very high. He carries it, uses a lot of muscle. See the cocked wrist? And watch him come up at the foul line. See how his head comes up? Well, what that does, he's getting as much on the ball as he can, and he's learned to hook the ball and made him more successful, which today, if you can hook it a lot, you definitely can knock down some pins.
Boy, Joe is throwing the ball as well as I've ever seen him throw it.
He's been, like I say, he's been on a roll, and he finished second to Phil Ringener the other day in a PBA event where he needed a strike to win and didn't get it, with Phil Ringener sitting on the bench waiting to see what was going to happen. Phil Ringener no longer is the most has earned the most money without winning on the PBA Tour. He finally got that first win.
Nice to see Phil get finally after all these years. He certainly paid his dues.
I'm sure happy for him because he's really a great guy, and it's about time he got into that winner's check.
Trying for 3 in a row. His carry percentage is great.
I'd say so. He really, every time he's hit the pocket, he struck. The one he didn't strike on lane 19 actually was too high in the head pin, and he was lucky to get away with only the 7-pin. Another look at the rotation of the ball going down the lane, goes into that end-over-end roll at the back end, but with the extreme angle that he's bringing it from out near the channel, he gets great pin action.
Morton already trailing by 20 pins. Needs to get something going right here.
First time on national television, and that makes anybody nervous.
Hurry. No. Oh, nice break with the 10-pin getting out of there. He had a lot of pins up there, winds up with just a 2-4.
Well, the scores being what they have been all week, obviously the pattern of the dressing on the lane has been conducive to high scores. And here, and what that means is there's more oil in the middle of the lane than there is on the outside generally. And when that happens, if you get the ball into that oil and keep it there like he did on that shot, it's not going to hook back. He just got it too much into the oil in the middle of the lane, and it skidded on him. Never had a chance to grip the lane and hook back.
At the 2-4, goes straight at it. Has to spare, but still trails by 20 pins. And we see Mom and Dad there, Bob and Joe. I'm sure that they're very nervous also.
I wonder how they came up with the spelling for his first name. That's I've never seen that Ron spelled with an H before. Have you?
No, sir. Never have.
That's like John, but they put an R there instead.
Yeah, when I first looked at the bios, I thought maybe it was a typo.
Great shot.
Well, he's got lane 19 down. Some of the other finishers in this event, a lot of people made some money.
Lots of money. Bob Hansen just missed. You can see his qualifying average 225, but in match play he struggled a little bit. Dennis Rand, another great left-hander, just almost got there, but he got 5 and 2, but he lost a key match later on and he couldn't hang on.
Couldn't beat Aulby. Eric Forkel seems like he just gets better every year. And John Cook will be back with the finish of this match.
Few things could have prepared me for the horror that awaited me that day.
Oh, how inhumane. It must be 110 degrees in there. We gotta do something. You, call 911. You, get a locksmith. Hang in there. The heat and light could easily trigger a degradation of flavor components. They'll all get skunked.
Budweiser, brewery fresh taste, strictly enforced. After some quick thinking, disaster was averted.
Looking for more strikes and more bowling fun? Then look no further than Going for the Gold with Team USA coach Fred Borden. As today's top instructor, Coach Borden will show you ways to reach your full potential. Professional bowlers Mike Aulby and Leila Wagner work with Coach Borden to show you the sure way to higher scores. This 12-lesson video is available for only $24.95.
I wanted a drafting career where I could draw more than just a good salary. Computers are the future of drafting, and I'm part of it. I trained in computer-aided drafting at ITT Technical Institute. ITT Tech could mean a successful future for you, too.
Call ITT Technical Institute at 1-800-522-5333 for an informative brochure. Call now. That's 1-800-522-5333.
Joe Firpo throwing a lot of strikes, working on 3 in a row, trying for 4. It's an easy game when you do it that way, Earl.
But you know what's interesting to watch, and I love to watch a ball do this, is Joe Firpo is creating so much angle into the pocket, an extreme angle into the pin, into the pocket area, and by so doing, well, here's a look at it. Watch the ball go well down the lane, way down there, about over 50 feet before it starts to hook back, and what he gets is a very lazy pin action, and the pins don't jump on him. He's got an extreme angle, the ball's rolling into the pocket area rather than spinning, and it's hitting soft, keeping the pins low, and that's why he's getting all that great carry power that he's getting.
Lane 19 trying for 5, leading by 30 pins.
A little more oomph on that shot. He really got more onto that one, Mike, and really hit hard that time.
5 in a row. He started the last game with 9, throwing most of them just like this.
It's incredible. Watch the ball hit. Watch how the pins stay low. They don't go up in the air, and they just push each other over. How do you like that word? Push each other over. Rather than going up over the top, as so often would happen when the balls are hitting real hard.
Well, you're thinking of that mad cow situation here. Ron Morton trailing by 40 pins, must strike.
Well, they should relax him a little more, knowing that he's way behind, and maybe he'll get something going. He hasn't really made any major mistakes. He just hasn't been able to strike on lane 20, which he just then did.
Threw a pretty good shot there, too.
Threw a real good shot.
See if he can capitalize on it now and come back to the lane that he's been throwing well on and make a turkey out of it.
It's interesting, too, Ron Morton throws a lot of hook, gets a lot of side rotation on the ball, but he's playing much deeper on the lane than Joe Firpo. Joe Firpo going way out near the channel, and Ron Morton keeping it between the second and third arrow most of the way down the lane.
If he strikes, he can cut the lead down to only trailing by 20 pins.
There's no defense in this game. All you can do is just play the best you can, the best you know how, and hope that you stay in the match and you don't get somebody like Joe Firpo that throws nothing but strikes.
He's looking pretty good right there. 3 in a row. He's kind of got Firpo's attention.
He's got his attention. If he can put some kind of pressure on Joe Firpo, maybe he can make him make some kind of a mental error or something. But the way Joe is stroking the ball now, it doesn't look like he's ever going to stop striking.
Yeah, he's not having the trouble with the approaches that he was having in the opening match.
No, he really looks solid at the line now, especially on the last shot on lane 19. I think that was the best shot he's thrown all day. Looking real good on the approach now. He got more into it. Away with it. My.
He's getting every break, too.
I've never seen carry like this before. As far as I can remember at the ABC Masters Championships, I've never seen the pins fall like they're falling today. Another look at that shot. Joe between the second and third arrow. Ball going out to about the 5 board. Comes up high on the head pin. He actually had more side rotation on that ball, so it didn't stop hooking. It continued to hook. The more side turn you get on the ball, the longer it goes before it hooks, but then it hooks very sharply. The other balls he's been rolling, they would stop hooking and start setting in the pocket area. He's getting a re-rack?
Yes, he's getting a re-rack over here on lane 19. Some of the other finishers. Well, we have a minute here.
Billy Rowe. I like Billy. He's a good kid, and he bowled extremely well this week.
Mark Benavides. Got it.
Good job. Stoney Baker. Stoney Baker finished in the top 12. Had a great week.
Lost 4 matches. How do you do that in a double elimination?
Don't ask me that, Mike. Maybe entered twice. How's that?
Oh, my goodness.
Can do no wrong, Joe Firpo.
The legendary Joe Norris made his 67th American Bowling Congress this year and leads in lifetime pinfall at the Showcase of Bowling with over 117,000 pins.
If you've been running for years,
If you've just started running,
even if you've been thinking about running, Runner's World, the world's #1 running magazine, can help you enjoy running and keep you running so you'll look and feel terrific.
Runner's World will help you lose weight fast.
And show you the foods that can boost your energy.
You'll learn secrets for building speed and stamina from top runners and their coaches.
Plus, sports medicine breakthroughs and easy stretches that help prevent injury.
You can get into fantastic shape with just 20 minutes of running 3 times a week.
Call now and receive a free issue of Runner's World.
As a special TV bonus, you'll also receive our exclusive guide, 250 everyday health tips for runners, and a personal training log free.
If you're not thrilled with your first issue, simply cancel and owe nothing. If you love Runner's World, you'll receive a full year, 12 issues in all, plus your free tips book and training log for just 4 easy payments of $4.97. That's 53% off the cover price.
Call 1-800-235-8600.
Hit the ice. Get the goal. The saves. The assists. And the big checks. All the NHL action when Bert presents Hockey Week. Check it out every week on this regional sports network.
Ron Morton trailing by 40 pins in this match. Even though he's clean with the turkey, we see that he's steady all week long, but he has to strike here. Looks good. Man, got the 10 pin right out of there, Earl.
He did, and you know, I bet right now he's thinking, I wish this was a 3-game match like we had all week instead of a 1-gamer.
Exactly, I'd still be in it.
He'd still be in it, yeah. Here's another look at, see how he stands up at the foul line, gets a lot of side rotation. You see the ball then picks up the roll almost 55 feet down the lane.
Well, that was your classic perfect strike with the ball hitting the 1-3-5-9.
That's right, and that's a question you can always ask people. How many pins does the ball hit on the classic strike as it enters the pocket area? Only 4.
Only 4. 8th frame action, trailing by 30 pins.
The way Joe Firpo's going, it looks like his ball's hitting all 10 of them. It's just pushing them over.
A little extra time here.
Number 5, Dale.
Has to hurry. And does. Well, Ron Morton with 5 in a row of his own. Trailing by only 20. So if Firpo makes a mistake anywhere in here, Morton's still in the match.
This doesn't bode well for either of the players that are left in the stepladder finals. Mike Aulby, of course, the last left-hander with a chance to win. And he's watching these big numbers being bowled by the right-handers and thinking, oh boy. Of course, Ernie Schlegel not liking to see these big hook players knocking down all these pins because he's a straight player.
He's a grind 'em out player, yeah. All right, 8th frame action. Firpo leaves the 10-pin. Cuts that lead down, I think, to 19 pins right now.
Well, what it amounts to is both players on a string of strikes. If Morton were to strike out for 270, he'd still lose to Firpo's 279 if they both went off the sheet.
Cross lane at the 10-pin. Changes balls. Joe Firpo has the highest lifetime Masters average, rather. We asked him about that.
Well, I never planned on it, obviously, but over the course of the years, I've done very well in the Masters, and I feel comfortable with the format and the match play. I enjoy the matches.
Obviously, you enjoy when you start with 9 in a row, 7 in a row.
Well, it's got to be fun to throw strikes like that.
If he doesn't strike here, though, he can get shut out, can't he?
Yes, he can. And it'll be interesting if it comes down to it. Morton several times had opportunities, I'd say 2 or 3 anyway, during the match play to be dominant in this tournament. He could have led the tournament quite easily if had he beat Ernie Schlegel, for example, in their match just before he lost that one and then went on to lose to Mike Aulby, which dropped him to 3rd. He could have led the tournament. And here's a look at this ball, almost hanging over the channel. And he almost gave up on it, and it came back for the strike.
What's he doing, checking out his area?
I think Joe plays area. Joe just likes to get the ball going through the heads, first part of the lane on the same angle each time, and then he doesn't worry about it other than a break point.
Big shot for Morton right here, trailing by 19. Right. Oh, no! Solid 9. Unbelievable.
Incredible. Made a great shot.
I had that one written up.
Here's another look at it. Watch the ball. No deflection. It goes in front of the 9. It just hit too hard.
Oh. Oh. He had it. Did you see the little fist
there?
there?
Yeah. He was ready. He thought he had it. And, of course, Joe Firpo, big sigh of relief there because had Morton struck out, he could have made Joe Firpo get 2 strikes in the 10th. Still got to make the spare. You never know. Make the spare, get every pin you can. Still 249, and Firpo needs to mark then in the 10th to win.
At the 9-pin, straight at it. What a letdown, though. I mean, how does he regroup here and strike out in the 10th frame after that emotional down?
That's a good question, especially a player doesn't have a lot of experience in this type of situation. It's got to really been like a knife in the heart for him there. He finally battled back into the match after that 7-in-a-row start from Joe Firpo, and had a chance to put Joe Firpo on the short end of the pinfall, and it just was such a bad break. But again, if he strikes out for 249, Joe Firpo will need to mark in the 10th to win the match.
And he has gone high a couple of times, so. Morton has not missed this lane yet.
Boy, that's a kiss of death if I ever heard it.
Here we go.
Look at you. Look what you did to him.
I'm sorry. It's all my fault.
Oh, Michael. Well, that's basically what happened to Ron Morton during the matches when he had an opportunity to advance or maybe put some pressure on his opponent. The ball would just get away from him. And again, that's not anything but lack of experience more than anything else. It's not being in this situation
often enough,
and especially on national television with several million people watching, 3,000 or 4,000 here in the stands watching. There's a lot of pressure out there for him. Not making excuses because he's bowled extremely well to get to this point. And he had to make some great shots in those earlier matches, but it just seemed like when it got down to the nitty-gritty, it wasn't there for Ron this week. .236 with a strike. Nothing to be ashamed of there. It's a great match, great score, but Joe Firpo just dominating today. He's only missed twice so far, and in something like 19 shots, he's thrown 17 strikes. That's unbelievable.
Ron trying to finish out with a strike. Does. 236. Comes up short, but have some consolation that he'll take home $15,000 for 4th place.
Not a bad payday. What was 5th, Mike? You got it right there.
Was $10,500 for Mr. Belmont. Joe Firpo keeps rolling along. Now the biggest obstacle will be in his path. Last year's champion. Right now, Firpo looks unbeatable as he flushes that first one in the 10th. He just keeps rolling along. Can finish this game out, another one in the 270s. Coming up, our semifinal match. Joe Firpo can't fail to strike against Mike Aulby, who's averaging over 240 for this event. Stay tuned.
In 1 year, over 200,000 people got the perfect stomach with 8-minute abs. Just listen to these results.
I went from the flabby spare tire to a washboard stomach. Thanks, 8-minute abs.
I used to wear loose clothes to hide my tummy, but look, now I use 8-minute abs.
8-minute abs is great. I pop it in, I'm done, and it works.
8-minute abs takes you through a series of simple movements scientifically designed for fast results.
I use 8-minute abs, and I recommend it to all of my clients.
The secret is using the abdominal muscles in a specific sequence to maximize effectiveness, and it gets the job done in only 8 minutes.
If you've got 8 minutes and a VCR, you'll get great abs too.
Call for your copy for $19.95, and we'll include a $5 rebate coupon. That's right, it's just $14.95 with rebate, and we'll also include 8-minute buns absolutely free. Yes, you get both for $14.95 if you call right now.
Satisfaction is guaranteed, so call 1-800-547-8888. That's 1-800-547-8888.
It's time. Time to feel young. Time to really get in shape. To build muscle. To get stronger and more flexible. It's time to lose fat permanently. To look better, feel better, and have more energy. It's time to turn back the clock by weightlifting with SoloFlex. Now's the perfect time to call SoloFlex for your free brochure and video.
We're at the Salt Palace Convention Center in Salt Lake City, Utah for the championship finals of the ABC Bud Light Masters Tournament. We've bowled 2 games already. I'm Mike Durbin along with Earl Anthony. Joe Firpo won the opening match against Bob Belmont, continued to win the second match against Ron Morton. Now he takes on the defending champion Mike Aulby. Aulby starts right out, leaves the 3-pin.
Well, you and I were discussing the fact that Mike wasn't comfortable on the lanes. We watched him in his practice balls, and he didn't seem to be able to get the reaction that he wanted. Obviously, much different than he was playing last night, when he was playing between the 3rd and 4th arrow and getting a big hook back. This ball just doesn't seem to want to get back to the head pin, and he's not comfortable with the ball reaction. So if he's not comfortable, you can see a little bit in his body action, maybe a little lack of confidence. And the way Joe Firpo's been throwing strikes, he better get started early.
Well, he's done it every game. 9 in a row.
I mean, Aulby better get started early. This match could be over. He's already got 1 spare. The way Firpo's been starting out.
Well, Firpo's got to realize, though, that he's got a 23-time champion here.
He's also got to realize that the lanes are making a little change for him. Remember what he did in the 10th frame? He got the ball up high in the head pin. And he's going to have to keep an eye on that ball reaction on the back end.
Well, made the adjustment, right back in, flush in the 1-3.
His entry angle is just so perfect. There's Mike Aulby's record.
And just fabulous numbers. They're 840, 780, 730.
These are 3-game total pin matches, folks, and look at those scores.
Wow. He bowled enough games, too, didn't he?
Bowled 33 games in match play and averaged 240, almost 247.
Firpo open with a strike, take a quick 10-pin lead with a strike here on lane 19. Right in there. All the breaks have gone his way today.
Well, that's what you need to win, especially when you're going through the kind of talent that he has in front of him. You know, he's got to win 4 matches, and he's got to go through people like Mike Aulby, and of course the tournament leader still waiting in the wings, Ernie Schlegel.
On lane 20, puts it right in there. Scores have been really high this week, and Mike's scores have been high. We asked him why.
Well, so far this week, I got a good hour practice session in and really got lined up and got some characteristics down. And then one ball worked great, and at the end of each match, they kind of broke down a little bit, and I had the ball to go to. So hopefully the same thing will happen today, and we'll just go out there and hopefully get lined up quick, because the guys are awful good on the show.
Well, you can see practice was on his mind.
Definitely. Mike didn't like the fact that there was no practice on the television pair. He was, he's never that outspoken about anything like that, but he was visibly upset about it.
Comes right back with a double, though. Get himself even in this match. Doesn't want Firpo to get too far away here.
Well, he's very much a competitor. Mike Aulby, very successful on the tour, one of the most successful of all time. One of the all-time leading money winners, and won a lot of tournaments, but only because he's a bulldog type. He gets out there and he just grits his teeth. No matter what you put out there, he's going to find a way to score.
Firpo, third frame. Oh my goodness, the first chink in the armor. The 4, 6, 7, 10 double pinochle. You called it a couple of frames ago.
Here's another look at that shot. It looks like he just gets a little soft with this. He's trying to move deeper into the oil, more toward the middle of the lane, to keep the ball from going high, and it's almost like he double-crossed himself there by going deeper into the oil. He slowed it down, almost like he was afraid it wouldn't hook back, and it hooked back too sharply, and the big split.
Gave it a run, but he's open in the third frame. Firpo, how he got here. Also some great scores there. He had some pretty good scores bowled against him. You see, he lost that opening match, put him in the loser's bracket right away. 750 against Chris Hayden, 790 against Stony Baker, 780 against Bob Belmont. Shot 670 against Aulby and still lost by over 50 pins. Back in the fourth frame. Back in there and struck. We had an instructional tool here at the ABC this year called CATS. It was Computer Assisted Training System. You see some of the players. It measured accuracy, entry angle, RPMs on the ball, speed control. It was professional competition. There we see Tom Lasko throwing some shots there. Overall winner, well, you can see for accuracy was Parker. For entry angle, Dave D'Entremont. Revolutions, Ward there won. And speed control was Parker, so he was the overall winner. We'll be right back after this.
All right, son, let's see it.
You guys cops?
Poultry police. We got reports this here Long John's, a fish place, is serving tender, old white batter-dipped chicken fillet. It's a unique taste for a paltry sum.
59 cents each.
59 cents. Nobody prices poultry at that price, pal.
Long John Silver's does.
It's the 59-cent chicken sale at Long John Silver's. Just put it in the bag.
Evidence?
Lunch.
This Mother's Day, give the gift of a lifetime. Beautiful skin from Oil of Olay. No moisturizer this light and graceless leaves skin softer. That's why more women use it. For a lifetime of beautiful skin.
The secret to a strong finish is endurance. High endurance from Old Spice. It evaporates less quickly than the leading deodorant stick. It also lasts longer, protects better. For a longer lasting deodorant stick, demand proof. Try high endurance from Old Spice.
Teaching children to save is a good idea. But next time, put that dollar in here and buy your child life insurance from Guarantee Trust Life Insurance Company. Call now for your free Great Start Kit. Just $1 buys your child life insurance for 3 months. Your child is insured and you're protected financially. $1 for 3 months. Then just $20 a year, so you'll have financial peace of mind.
Call 1-800-454-7500 now.
Fourth frame, Aulby now leading by 18 pins, trying to increase that lead on lane 20. Perfect. The body English is getting a little more confident here.
No question about it. You know, Mike was a little upset that he might miss his son Christopher's first baseball game. You know, first one ever for Christopher, and it was going to be played today. And Mike,
he,
of course,
6 years old now or 7?
He's in kindergarten. And it would have been his first ever baseball game, but luckily it was rained out, so Mike's not going to miss it.
So they postponed it to tomorrow?
Yeah, that just, I'm sure Christopher is going to be watching this, so Mike was thinking about your son. And of course Tammy, his wife.
3 in a row, trying for 4. Has to hurry.
Well, that's that hang area, and boy, he got a break there.
Leaves still the 3-9, but could have had the 3-9-10.
And an incredibly more difficult spare, the 3-9-10, than just the 3-9. The 3-9, he wants to hit both pins with the ball. Here's a look at that last shot. He just gets it so far down the lane at such an extreme angle that couldn't get it back. And Mike, when he does make a mistake, he generally goes high. Now he's making the error light. Both pins with the ball. Just play this off his strike angle, hook it up into the 3-pin.
Has it. Difficult spare. He made it look easy. Firpo, though, chance to get right back in this match, trailing by 26. What kind of adjustment do you think he's going to try and make here? Just
I think
speed?
It's ball speed. I think he's lined up properly to get the ball to the pocket, but he's got to stay firm. He can't baby the ball. Earlier on in his 2 opening matches, especially the opening match, he had all kinds of area where the ball would roll up and stop for him. Just hook out, and now he's to the point where he's got to increase his ball speed, which he did there, and still hooked too much. He got away with it. Had the 4-6 briefly. Looks like he's as he's moving and deeper into the lane or more toward the center. Is another look at that shot, like he's trying to get more on the ball. So he's defeating the purpose of the move. When you move because the ball already is hooking too much. You don't need to hook it more.
So he's making a double adjustment.
Basically, he's overcoming the adjustment he's making. He's making a good move to move deeper into the oil, but then he's trying to get more hook.
We talked to him about opportunities that he's had before. What will make today different?
Well, I just finished second a couple weeks ago. I'm really comfortable with the TV show format right now. I'm very confident. I've been bowling great, and I'm just throwing one shot at a time and don't let anybody get in my way.
All right, now Mike Aulby is in his way by the tune of 26 pins. Left lane is in light. Carey is still there. It's just getting it in the pocket, Earl.
That's been the thing all week long. It's been the carry has been just phenomenal for both left-handers and right-handers, and really doesn't matter if you hook the ball out or not. If you could get the ball into the pocket area, the pins were falling down. Like I mentioned earlier, it's been one of the very different or unique thing that I've never seen the pins fall so easily at a Masters Championship before. That might.
No, you thought it was going to creep high.
I thought it was going to go high. It stayed right there. It did look like it, didn't it?
Yeah, I thought so too. I could tell from the tone of your voice. Look at this shot. Great shot.
Here's another look at it. Now he's back in close to that third arrow, which is where this is basically the line Mike was playing throughout the match play. Maybe just a board or two even farther in toward the center of the lane. And so he's getting more and more confident now because he's back to the angle that he shot those big scores we were talking about all yesterday and the day before. The left-hand lane has been the one that he struggled a little bit, the ball hanging on him, not quite getting back. See if he makes an adjustment here. Goes a little more direct would be the move to make.
Key shot for Aulby. Gets it back and carries. Mike Aulby in command. The semifinal match. Always one of the big evenings during the run of the American Bowling Congress Tournament is Hall of Fame night. This year's new members were inducted were Frank Brill, John Archibald, Henry Moore, Bob Goyke, and Mike Toski. We'll be right back after this.
Experience the excitement of your favorite Olympic events. Now in commemorative cans of Bud, Bud Light, and Bud Ice. Better yet, if you get one of these special gold cans, you could see the games live in Atlanta. Look for Grab the Gold details wherever you see Bud Family Olympic packages. Just another part of the Bud World Party.
You're a winner, and you deserve recognition. In sanctioned leagues and tournaments, 2 million awards are handed out each year by the national governing bodies of bowling, the American Bowling Congress, the Women's International Bowling Congress, and the Young American Bowling Alliance.
But your membership card entitles sanctioned league bowlers to more than the awards program.
There's more than $1 million each for college scholarships and veterans hospitals, bowlers supporting their communities.
Every member has a chance to compete in thousands of special events, locally, nationally, and internationally.
Sanctioned leagues also provide for the standardization of rules and supplies. Plus, league prize money is bonded.
Equipment testing and research helps advance the sport.
Your membership card does all that.
And every lane is inspected annually by local association volunteers. In short, everything runs smoother, and sanctioned leagues are a lot more fun.
So have more fun and help shape the future of bowling by making sure your league is sanctioned by the national governing bodies, the ABC, WIBC, or YABA.
Joe Firpo, 7th frame, trailing by a big 36 pins, has to strike here. Working on a strike. Move deeper. Ooh, still ran high, but he got that 4-pin out of there.
That's kind of interesting. The deeper he goes, the more he turns it, the more he puts on it. Almost a natural reaction for most bowlers would do that. The more you go into the middle of the lane, the more you feel you have to have the ball hit harder in the back end, so you get around the side more and lift it harder. Unfortunately, when he's doing that, it's starting to hook earlier for him. So even when he moves deep, the ball's starting to hook early. He's going to have to either cut down on the revolutions or go with more ball speed. Or move even deeper into the lane.
Yeah, that's what I think you'll do. 8th frame needs one more to cut it to 16 pins. High. Oh, it doesn't look like it's meant to be. Firpo's not the same bowler he was previous 2 games. Anheuser-Busch, one of the sponsors here. Kevin Card. He'll be giving out the check in a little bit after another game or so.
Budweiser's been good to beer. It's been a great beer, but it's been good to bowling for a long time. What a great sponsor they've been over the years for not only just these major events, but all over the country and leagues and things of that nature. You can always count on Budweiser to be there.
There's Walt Robertson, the new ABC president. And that's Mike Aulby, PBA Hall of Famer, with a 28-pin lead now, 8th frame. Can put this match away with a couple of strikes here.
Mike looking more and more comfortable and confident. Look at this. Oh, my.
Boy, a little more speed or whatever.
I don't know what happened there. It's almost like he was trying to play safe, and you can't do that, and I know Mike knows that. There's another look at that shot, and Joe Firpo is wondering what happened to him. What a great angle this is from overhead. You can see where Mike's playing the lanes. Ball got well down the lane, just couldn't quite get back from that far down the lane. Maybe more ball speed or maybe more oil. I don't know which, Mike. But
another difficult spare. He made it once in this game. It
almost took too much for him on the other shot. So let's see what he does here. He might give it more room. Or
perfect.
Absolutely perfect.
9th frame coming up. Strike here. He makes Firpo strike out just to make him show up. We see the difference there. 26 pins. Aulby, a very steady game.
Still get 220 out of this. So Mike needs a couple of marks. Mike going at 226 pace. Firpo possible 220. You don't expect Mike Aulby to give you very many chances. He gave him an opportunity there in the 8th. You don't expect Mike to make many mistakes. Oh, look at this. Now that's normally what Mike does. When he makes a mistake, it's generally high on the head pin. And once in a while when he makes it, he can feel it coming and he just lets it go and it crosses the head pin and he gets away with it. Gets to Brooklyn. This time he left the baby split, the 2-7, and the way the lane has been reacting on lane 19 for him, if he gets this a little wide to that 2-pin, it may not hook back. So this will be an interesting shot, how Mike plays it. A very experienced player, very knowledgeable, and a great spare shooter. Wants to fit it between the 2 pins. The ball hit both pins.
Cross lane. Great shot here. Marvelous. Perfect. Oh.
Boy, has he been tough. With 3 tough spares, he's made them all.
I'll tell you what, I love that shot, though. Wasn't that great?
Big deep breath there from Mike Aulby. You can see this shot. The ball, you get it well down the lane. No side turn on the ball at all. All end over end rolled. Keep it from snapping and hooking too much and just getting only the 2 pin.
Joe still alive, but just barely.
Looks pretty healthy to me, Mike. What are you talking about?
I don't know. He was leaking some oil earlier in this game.
Yes, he was. A little more into the oil.
Oh, got the break again.
He has to have them all, no question about it. Mike Aulby.
Move on 19? He went high last time?
I think he's going to move. I just can't believe. Joe's, again, another experienced player, and he's very confident with his ability right now. There's another look at that, and you can see him trip the 4-7-10. the last 3 pins to fall, and his reaction was, all right, I'm still in this thing.
There's the score, 24 pins of difference. Firpo working on the strike. If he takes it out the sheet, 220 is his score, one at a time.
And then count becomes a factor. If Joe were to strike out for 220, Mike Aulby at a 224 pace, one bad ball for bad count, even with a mark, could make it a close match.
No way.
No chance there.
He made the move. It didn't get back. Leaves the 2-4-8-10. It's going to be Aulby against Schlegel.
Here's another look at that shot. Watch his left foot, his sliding foot. It looks like he's a little off balance there, Mike, like he got the ball away from his body and tried to force it back to the pocket rather than roll it back. But regardless, it was a great tournament for Joe Firpo. He bowled extremely well for his first 2 games. Ran into a buzzsaw here in Mike Aulby, who is traditionally tough to beat in match play.
20,000 is what Firpo will take home. Aulby, though, his sights are set on over 50,000. Oh, there's that 3-9 again. Some of the other finishers. Ron Winger, a senior right there. Of course, Parker Bone, always in there. And some of the other finishers right there. Don't recognize many of those names. Do you, Earl?
Some of them. Jim Doherty's the guy who bowled the 300 game in match play, so he had a pretty good week.
Our qualifying leader this week, Charlie Bruno. We'll be back for the championship match. I'll be the defending champion taking on Muhammad. No, that's Ernie Schlegel. Stay tuned.
Time is running out for these children. Their cancers won't wait for a cure. At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, the race to find a cure depends on you.
I come to St. Jude because I have non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I have leukemia.
Time may be running out, but it's not too late. And any contribution you can make, no matter how small, will help kill the cancer that's killing these children.
Sometimes I scream because it hurts. It hurts.
Your gift will provide research, treatment, and hope. At St. Jude, no family pays for their child's treatment. That's why whatever help you can give is so important. Please call now with your tax-deductible gift. If you like, you can even charge your gift.
If I had one wish, it would be that there was a cure for cancer.
Please call and help us right now. There isn't a second to lose.
Tired of cheap substitutes? Well, hang on. It's Prime World Championship Wrestling. The real deal. The biggest hams and body slams and faces only a mother could love. Catch the action Mondays on this regional sports network.
That's what they're shooting for, the Frank Baker Trophy. Ernie Schlegel taking on Mike Aulby, the match we've all been waiting for.
And incidentally, a little check worth about $50,000 goes to the winner.
Not too shabby.
Not to mention that.
Yeah, the loser here gets what, 27?
Not bad.
26.5.
Depending on how many, it's different for each player, depending on how many matches you won. You get $500 for winning a match also during the match play portion of the tournament, for example. And Mike Aulby, if he were to finish second, would get $27,500. Ernie would get $27,000 even.
Did you see that? He just threw that shot out around the first arrow.
Yeah, he made an adjustment in the 10th frame. In his count ball, he went out and played right off the edge of the lane and got a good ball reaction on lane 20 and struck. And what he's got to be careful of there is if the ball just hangs on him, he'll get some really tough leaves then. He won't get away with the easier spares. He could get the, take the 2-pin out of the rack, wash out type thing.
At the 10-pin has the spare, and we get our first look at Schlegel going straight up at him.
Yep, Ernie will be out around the second arrow, maybe just outside of it, somewhere in that vicinity, going right up at the pins. You won't see any big hooks out of Ernie Schlegel, but he is devastating when he gets lined up. He can just continue to make the good shots and hit the pocket. And if he can carry the corner pins, he can shoot a big number at you. Ernie, one of the bowlers that loves to bowl the World Team Challenge, and you see him quite often there. There he is, right between the first and second arrow, and that's what he wants. Just roll it right up at him very consistently, and if Ernie gets it going and starts running him out, he could do a lot of damage early here to Mike Aulby, and that's really the key to this match, in my opinion. Ernie Schlegel getting out of the gate quickly, putting some pressure on Aulby and making Aulby make good shots and not letting him relax.
You know, they had that CATS thing here, that training program. That one of the categories was RPMs, and the guy who won it, I think, had like 22 revolutions on his ball. Here's a guy leading this tournament that doesn't get 22 maybe in a game. I mean, but
well, he gets it when it goes down and comes back. You add them together, he gets 22. No, but that shows to go. The important thing is to get the ball in the pocket area and just get some roll on it when it enters the pins. It'll do the job for you.
Especially with today's new modern equipment. For the quick double. Has it.
There he goes now. Ernie's excitable, and he gets it going. He's going to be tough. And that's the kind of hit that he needs to get going. He got lucky there. Not really lucky, but right now, here's a look at the style of Ernie Schlegel, a very successful player for a long time on the PBA Tour. All really fundamentally sound basics. You can see the good arm swing. The only thing that Ernie's had a problem with is getting to the foul line quickly at times and coming up, which creates a pull or the ball will fall off his hand.
Aulby. Ooh, that almost crept high.
Yeah, that's an interesting line, an interesting move that Mike has made. He doesn't feel that what he played with last game against Joe Firpo would be enough pins probably from the line he was playing to beat Ernie Schlegel. So he feels he has to find something different, and he's moved out near the edge of the lane. He's trying to be more aggressive and attack the pocket more, but he has to be careful. If he's a little short with the ball, it'll go very high very quickly, and if he's a little long, he could get some really tough spares, some real big washouts. It's an extreme angle, a very critical angle.
One he feels comfortable with, though. Well, he got that wide. Woo,
There's what he needs.
Came back.
looks like Joe Firpo from the other side of the lane. Here's a look at it from our eye in the sky right here. You can see he's out near the edge of the lane, clear out around the second or third board, and the ball comes back very late and almost hooks out. Still gets the roll power that he needs from that angle.
That's our satellite cam.
Satellite cam, yeah.
Schlegel, third frame. Even match, trying for 3 in a row. Will it hold? Well, it did, but it left the 7th pin.
Well, Ernie knew he made a mistake, and he was hoping it wouldn't go high, but it did. Just a little bit high in the head pin. But he just kind of tugged it up to the pocket a little more than he normally would. Easy spare for Ernie. Cross lane at the 7 pin.
Cross lane at the 7 pin. Schlegel, excellent spare shooter. Goes straight at it. Hold on. Oh my goodness gracious, a mistake. Boy, you don't see that very often. Ernie Schlegel making a mistake like that.
Well, basically, he made the same error he made on the strike ball. He got there a little quick and pulled the ball left. And Ernie thinking he can go right at that spare, and he did, but he went just a little left to where he wanted it to go. And that's amazing that he would make that kind of a mistake. Very seldom see that. He did that when he won the Touring Players Championship. He missed the 4 pin.
Yeah.
And it came back to haunt him late in the match because Randy Peterson had a chance to beat him, but I don't see him giving Mike Aulby very many opportunities like this.
Aulby
taking a re-rack here if he can get it.
Ernie Schlegel scores. We see that. Really only one big set shot at him by Greg Shields, 701. He won that match. Both steady all the way through, but those scores wouldn't have beat Aulby hardly in any match.
Not at all. And the thing that's interesting, Ernie averaged 220 and won all 6 matches. His opponents only averaged 213, where most of the other players had much higher scores. But Ernie had luck of the draw this week. He never bowled a left-hander. This is his first look at someone bowling on that side of the lane. He was very fortunate. The lefties had big numbers this week. Another look at Mike Aulby between the first and second arrow, getting the ball out to about the 4 or 5 board and bringing it back.
And according to one of our informants down there, Mike Aulby has made a ball change, changing to a different ball right here. I don't know whether he did that after the double. Maybe we can try and find that out.
I don't know either. Maybe he did it when he switched lines because he might have felt that this ball
might have done it
longer
at that point in time. Right. Working on 3 in a row, trying for 4. Wants to get that early lead.
Big break for Ernie Schlegel here. The ball just a little too far down the lane to get back, and leaves only, actually a break for Aulby too, leaves only the 3-pin. Could have been a lot worse. The 7-pin, one of the last pins to fall, and the 3-7 is a tough spare.
He changed after that double, Earl, because this is the ball that he was using when he sent it out wide and got it back. Like, this one's a little duller. The ABC tournament, the standings here, we see the singles was won by Don Scudder. Oh, he's the leader. It's not over yet, right. Doubles. Drew, well, the regular team, Trout's Minnows, all right. And all events, Pollard's Bowl. We'll be back for the rest of the championship final right away.
Welcome back to Olympic coverage. Now, the pommel horse is a great chance for the USA to move up in the medal race, and this young man is probably our best hope for gold. He's off to a good start. Oh, man, what form. He's really making this look easy. Into an L. To a handstand. Amazing! Here's the dismount, and he stinks it.
Bud Light, proud sponsor of the '96 U.S. Olympic team.
Now let's check in at the pole vault finals, where we're going to see some people do...
It set the standard in do-it-yourself books. But now, we've made the best even better. Introducing the all-new Home Repair and Improvement series from Time Life Books. With new color illustrations, step-by-step instructions, and a new spiral binding so books lay flat. It's never been easier to save money and create the home you've always wanted. You'll learn how to build a deck your family will enjoy for years. The tricks of the trade to install a new patio. Call now to examine decks, porches, and patios free for 15 days. Keep it for the special low TV price of just $1.99. Use your credit card and get this Stanley tape measure absolutely free. Other volumes will follow. Keep only those you want. The new Home Repair and Improvement series from Time Life Books. We've made the best even better.
Call 1-800-841-8989 now to get decks, porches, and patios for just $1.99. That's 1-800-841-8989.
Schlegel, trailing by 22 pins, working on the strike, needs to get a double to bite into that lead. Talking to himself right there.
Well, he pulled it high again. Got a break.
Just a 6-pin.
You can see that motion that Ernie's making, and there's his wife, Catherine DePace Schlegel, Ernie's wife, and she's always been a big help to Ernie throughout the years, his bowling on the tour, and he looks to her for help at times. But Ernie's motion there with his hands means, I'm just too fast with my feet. I've got to slow down, and that's what Kathy was saying. Slow down, Ernie.
Everybody here seems to be hooking the ball all over the lane. I asked Ernie earlier, how do you compete going so straight?
Well, it's just another win to me. It's something I've always wanted. Another major. I won the TPC in November, and here 6 months later I got a chance to win another major. I think that'll be hopefully the seal that does everything for my career.
Well, I asked Ernie what it would mean to win the Masters, and that's the answer we got there. So it's just a little curve they threw me right there.
Well, that's okay.
We can see that this is a very important tournament to Ernie Schlegel.
Yeah, he's thinking Hall of Fame. He really wants to be in there badly, and I think he's earned it. I think he deserves it as much as anybody else that's eligible, and maybe more. There's a good shot. That's where he wants the ball, right between the second and third arrow, not right. I mean, first and second arrow, not over the second arrow. And when he gets it over the second arrow, he's pulled it, and lane 20 did it twice.
Well, there's a guy we recognize. He's changed a little bit. This is back in the early 80s. Schlegel bowling at that time. Still could throw strikes then too. Hasn't changed much. Just looks a little older there, as we all do, Earl. At the 10-pin.
He's giving Mike Aulby an awful lot of opportunities.
In that particular tournament, though, there was another guy in that particular tournament. There he is. He hasn't changed a bit. You don't look any different. My goodness gracious, Miss Agnes.
Where did they come out? These film. I didn't know they had color film back then.
Well, they made the colorized version.
They tinted it, and that was black and white.
Aulby leading by 23 pins, 6th frame. Oh my goodness. The 2-4-7-10. This match is not over, folks.
Well, that's important count there also for Mike Aulby, because it puts him behind in the count in the match, which means one less strike necessary for Ernie Schlegel to catch up. Right through the middle of the head pin. Could have been a lot worse.
That's
looks worse than it is.
Schlegel. That's got to pump up.
Well, only if he doesn't pick it up. If he doesn't pick it up, Ernie will go. He'll love it. You know, it might loosen him up, might slow him down, get him loose. If he picks it up, it'll be still a mental thing it'll pump Mike Aulby up, and it'll hurt Ernie Schlegel. All right, that's what Ernie's looking for. And
Ernie walked over to his bag where Mike was throwing that shot, just gave it a quick left glance as he saw the ball. Now he's getting a piece of tape.
Yeah, Ernie's
little mind games going
Ernie's
on
special.
There.
Yeah, he's special. He's fun to watch. He's very much a consummate competitor. It'd be the way to describe Ernie Schlegel, I guess, the best I can anyway, because he's always giving it everything he has, every shot. And Catherine, his wife, sits behind him and helps as much as she can.
Difference only 8 pins in this match right now. 12 pins.
That ball went down the lane so far. When it did come back, it was behind the head pin. Now, Mike might be getting a little confused. Maybe that line isn't working or breaking. It's changing for him a little bit. He's the only one out there. Here's another look at it. And you can see he gets it out on the edge of the lane, and it goes way down there. And then it comes back. It's behind the head pin, and it had all forward roll, not much side turn, so it didn't drive into the pocket area.
Boy, he almost had the pocket 7-10 there. Cross lane at the 10 pin.
7 pin.
7 pin.
Cross lane and easy spit.
All right, Mike. They're both struggling here. Who's going to prevail?
Well, I tell you what, if Ernie can loosen up on lane 20, I like his chances. Mike Aulby's starting to have a little problem controlling the line that he's playing way outside there. Ernie, basically a control player. He likes to go up between that first and second arrow. If he can get loose, keep his feet slow, he could throw a lot of strikes the rest of this match, because the lane condition does suit his style.
Schlegel.
There's his best shot on lane 20 right there. Stayed with that one.
Out of there.
Stayed with that one, Mike. You watch him at the foul line. He didn't come up on that shot. He stayed down and chased the ball with his hand. And there's Kathy saying, all right, finally.
The way I've got it, he strikes and he takes the lead for the first time in this match.
Right, and what a big shot it would be, too, to take the lead at this point. Mike Aulby struggling a little bit, especially on lane 20 where he got the ball high. Aulby always seems to be able to come back. He's a
very
fighter.
Resilient, huh?
Very resilient, very much a fighter. Doesn't watch his opponent bowl, looks down at the floor. He doesn't want to see him get a lucky break or something that might disturb his concentration.
Mike Schlegel taking his time. He's known for that. Taking more now.
See Aulby looking down at the floor, blowing on his hand to dry the perspiration. Good shot here. Look at Kathy. Look at the reaction from Kathy Schlegel up off the bench. She wants this probably as much or more than Ernie does himself.
And she's as much a competitor as he is.
You betcha. Kathy's into it, boy. I'll tell you what. She feels it just as much as Ernie, and Ernie's running him out. What a break. What a break for Ernie when Aulby made the mistake on this lane last shot. Here we go again. He's high again. Crossed it over, and
why did he switch balls?
I don't understand. Mike knows his game obviously a lot better than we do. He knows what he's trying to accomplish here, but here he's moved angles. He's gone more directly down the second arrow. The ball just hooked immediately, and I don't know if that was an error on his part, didn't trust the ball enough, or if he just tried to get more in the oil to keep it from hooking. Probably the latter. Anyway, cross length to spare. He misses a spare about once every 10 years. And the 7 pin anyway.
Has the 7 pin, but now he trails by 3 pins. He's got a strike here in the 9th frame.
Ernie can shut him out. Ernie's finishing first. Ernie was Ernie's choice. The player that finishes higher in the standings gets to determine which lane he wants to start and finish on. Ernie decided that he would start on lane 20, which means he finishes on lane 19, so he'll finish the match first. And if he were to get up and throw a couple more strikes, it would be over. What a turnaround. But it's been Ernie's week all week.
He's found a way to win.
Lots of room here. Got it back, but just not enough to carry the 10. It's just so far behind the head pin when he does get it back to the pocket that he can't enter at a very good angle. An entry angle is so key to being able to strike. I'll be going after another ball here to shoot the 10.
That's the ball he started the game with.
It's amazing, and like we say, it'd be nice to be able to be down there and talk to Mike Aulby, but unfortunately we just have to guess what he's trying to accomplish here. This is not the ball he normally shoots his spares with, that's for sure.
At the 10 pin. I think he wanted it so that ball get across the oil to get that 10 pin. Schlegel with the opportunity of a lifetime to win the ABC Bud Light Masters.
Actually, a strike here and good count, and he's a winner. He needs a strike here on this ball and then a spare with good count in the 10th frame, and he's a winner. Most Aulby can shoot is 212.
Ernie knows it too.
Oh, you better believe he knows it. This is the lane he's had his most trouble on, though. Lane 20. Twice now he's pulled it up high on the head pin on this lane. He's got to keep his feet slow, stay in balance.
I can just hear Catherine say, stay slow.
Shot of the week for Ernie right here.
Oh, he did it.
I'll tell you what, that ball didn't turn over at all for the first 40 feet. That's how much Ernie wanted to line it to the pocket. Ernie's philosophy is when you need one, you throw the high hard one at him, folks. You don't give it a chance to go wrong. Here's a look at that ball. Watch it. Look at it. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, maybe picks up 7 or 8 more in the end, but in the first 40 feet of the lane, it didn't turn over more than 4 or 5 times.
And Catherine on her feet in the back.
You betcha. Well, right now, you can believe Ernie knows exactly what he needs.
She can't breathe.
No, she's all right. She just she's been here before. She looked the same
this
at
is
the Touring
special.
Players Championship. This is a major for Ernie, and this means, like he said, when you ask him, he said, "This is it. This is my bowling career."
The shot of the life right here.
It'll be high and hard. It won't. He won't trust it. A lot of ball speed right at it. That's a winner, folks. What a great performance by Ernie Schlegel. You can hear the crowd in the background. They're chanting Ernie.
Ernie Schlegel won the 1996 ABC Masters. We'll be back to talk to him after this.
Turns out we're part of the biggest event during the summer games, the beer run. The Bud World Party continues, round the clock, around the world.
Getting the proper feel is important to every bowler. Grip inserts provide you with that proper feeling on every shot. That's why today's top professionals choose only Contour Power Grips, and you should too.
Contour Power Grips, manufactured by the pioneers in the finger grip industry, Pro Sports Systems. More pros choose Contour Power Grips. You should too. Ask your Pro Shop professional for Contour Power Grips, the grips that legends use.
All right, son. Poultry police. We got reports this here Long John's is serving tender, old white batter-dipped chicken fillets.
59 cents each.
Nobody prices poultry at that price, pal.
Long John Silver's does. It's the 59-cent chicken sale at Long John Silver's.
This Mother's Day, give the gift of a lifetime. Beautiful skin from Oil of Olay. No moisturizer this light and graceless leaves skin softer. That's why more women use it, for a lifetime of beautiful skin.
Discover the feeling of Fix-It Fresh. A stronger, longer hold. A more secure, fresh approach to wearing dentures. And the fresh sensation gives you the confidence to live life without limits. Try a fresh approach.
All right, son. Poultry police. We got reports this here Long John's is serving tender, old white batter-dipped chicken fillets.
59 cents each.
Nobody prices poultry at that price, pal.
Long John Silver's does. It's the 59-cent chicken sale at Long John Silver's.
The 46th Annual American Bowling Congress Masters is being brought to you by Bud Light, official sponsor of the 1996 Olympic Summer Games. Make it a Bud Light. By Lynn Shoes. For the performance approach, it's American-made Lynn Shoes. By Contour Power Grips, the pioneers of the finger grip industry. More pros use Contour Power Grips. You should too. And by the American Bowling Congress, providing championship service to bowlers since 1895. Make sure your league is ABC sanctioned. And the winner of this year's ABC Bud Light Masters, Ernie Schlegel. Ernie, we want to congratulate you and hear from Anheuser-Busch. Kevin Card has got a nice check for you.
I do, and Bud Light would like to thank bowlers and bowling fans everywhere. And today, Ernie, we would like to congratulate you. Super job today.
And with a nice trophy, the Frank Baker Trophy, the president of the ABC, Walt Roberson.
On behalf of the American Bowling Congress, Ernie, the Frank K. Baker Trophy, you earned it.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank Bud Light, and I'd like to thank ABC for this fantastic tournament. And this tournament was dedicated to my mentor, John Mazzio.
Thank you, Ernie. Congratulations. Thank you, Salt Lake. Goodbye. This is Mike Durbin. So long from the ABC Tournament Lanes in the Salt Palace Convention Center in Salt Lake City, Utah. This has been an ABC Eagle production.